Alright, 1 second. Oh.
There we go. I probably need to bump up the gain on my mic here.
Sure thing.
Testing. Okay.
That's a little crunchy. You can like back it off.
Okay.
Just like a half a hair.
Back it off.
That sounds great. That sounds good right there.
There we go.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll bring us in
Touchy microphone.
I'll bring us in like 5 seconds, and we'll go from there.
Okay.
Awesome.
Hey everyone, and welcome to your audio sensation experience, the official podcast of Team Yase. Now, I'm just playing with you. This is the YASEcast, episode 43. You got Jarv here on the mic today. Lamo's out today. You know, we love him, we miss him, but you know, sometimes other people got to take over. With us, we got the return of Master Who.
Hello, it's me, Master Who. I'm back.
Hey, hi. And we also got up and coming fan favorite Toops.
What's up? Reporting from the back rooms.
Reporting from the back rooms. All right, y'all.
From the back rooms.
Look, we got secret shit going on in the back rooms. You know, we got like a smash back room. We're sort of like an Illuminati situation. We got a lot going on. We got a lot of fingers and pies.
Yeah.
Yase is always.
And Toops is the man to put those fingers in the pies. We've got
you know it.
We've got the man on the job. Thank you, Toops.
No, you're welcome.
We appreciate the fingering stylings.
Oh god, this is getting nasty.
Okay.
My mom keeps asking me to listen to this podcast, so y'all can't say stuff like that.
Not today. It ain't gonna be episode 43. Sorry, Mama Toops.
Oh, sorry, Mama Toops.
So sorry, Mama Toops. How you guys been? What's been going on with y'all?
I can take it. Yeah, I'm doing just swell. Life's been good. I've been obsessing about Monster Hunter. That's all that's on the brain because Monster Hunter Rise is coming out in just a couple days.
Oh, wow.
So I can't get it off the brain. I'm a big Monster Hunter fan. It goes way back with me to the youngin' little boy days. So I'm a big fan of Monster Hunter. I'm really looking forward to Rise. Aside from that, I went back and revisited this one Steam game, and I guess you guys can tell me if you've heard of it. I watched one Twitch streamer play it, and I was like, wow, this is the most incredible game ever. I don't know how I haven't heard of this. It's a game called Splitgate. It came out in, I want to say, 2019, so it's a couple years old by this point now. It's going on that. But I never heard of it until just a couple days ago, and what it is, it's a Halo clone, pretty much. A Halo clone with portals. Just yoink the portal mechanic for Portal, shove it into Halo, and add a jetpack.
What's it called?
And it's Splitgate. It is free to play.
What?
It is on Steam. It's exactly. It is incredible. It's so much fun. It's free. It has multiple different modes. Just again, ripped right out of Halo. You have like SWAT mode where headshots one hit KO. You have just team-based deathmatch. You have Oddball, which I think that's a Halo game mode where you have to like hold a skull or something like that for a certain amount of time. It's literally just PC Halo, but with portals, and it's a great fun time. So I went and played that for a bit. I have nothing but good things to say about it. You'll get countless hours of just free entertainment for getting to play that. So if you're looking for a new shooter, give that a shot.
On PC?
Otherwise, it's on PC. I can't say if it's on anything else. I'm not too entirely sure, but it is on Steam. Just yoink it for free. It's cool.
Damn, that sounds. More people need to just start like stealing Portal wholesale.
How has it not happened for this long? Right?
I'm a full on enthusiast for game developers stealing mechanics from other games.
Please do it.
There are some times where I'll play an old game like Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and I'll play Magneto, and I'm like, why doesn't anybody put the triangle jump for real in other fighters?
It's such a fun thing to do. Why not just yoink it? You could take that. It worked for Genshin Impact. I just heard they just crossed $1 billion in revenue now. $1 billion after 6 months of gameplay. But, you know, they just borrowed the best game mechanics from Breath of the Wild and yoinked it into their game, and it's like, go for it. Why wouldn't you want to bring fun game mechanics from other games into your own
Yeah,
game?
it's
I'm all for it. I don't know if it's bordering on plagiarism as much as it is really just bringing you more enjoyment for things that you already do enjoy, I guess.
It's an influence. It's not plagiarism. It's just influence.
It's just influence, yes. $1 billion of influence.
Hey, when you attach that influence to a literal slot machine, things happen.
It will always work out good. Sure. I know we're gonna probably loop around into that, but sometime or another. But with Horse Girls, that's recently has a slot machine mechanic added as well. Let's add gambling mechanics on top of already gambling mechanics of horse betting. Absolutely.
Our friend has been showing us clips of that game. The thing that gets me is after the race, if you look in the background, you see the horse women that lost, and they're like crying.
They look sad as shit.
They look so sad.
Oh my god.
You feel sad too, because that could be your horse. If your horse gets in anything like second or fourth or worse, sixth place, Jesus Christ! If you got sixth, they are like, you actually like feel a little bad. You're like, oh my god. My poor horse girl.
Like this.
No. Yeah. Anytime that happens, my wife keeps saying that Mr. Elmer is going to send her off to the glue factory. It's terrible. No.
That's awful.
It's so bad. So you might as well spend more money in the slot machine to prevent Mr. Elmer paying you a visit.
Yes.
That's the mechanic.
That's correct. And I would, because that would make me extremely heartbroken. I would uninstall the game. I know we'll have a whole Horse Girl game, Ume Masamume. I don't know what the game's called. We just call it the horse game in the group chat. We just call it horse with a period at the end, and then just like there's cyberspace horse, there's dropkick horse. Those are the only real horses I know.
There's like a luchador horse.
And for listeners at home, we're not going to elaborate on any of this right now. You're going to have to live in darkness if you don't know what we're talking about. Go get an education. Go to college.
It's not our job to educate you about horse girls.
Horse college.
We're not going to explain anything here. We have to keep you reeled in for the next episode.
Yeah, I mean that is coming because there's like an anime, and I know Jay's all about it, and other people on the team also play it too. So y'all should have like a real discussion about it. But for me, the fact that sometimes the horse girls go into like Persona Awakening. Really
Yes!
It zooms in on the face, and I'm just like, "Whoa, Narukami!"
I'm winning this race.
The hell I am! I got fucking Zeodyne right here.
Yeah,
got cross slash.
Yes.
And the way that they just, I mean, I know they're horse girls, and horse races are just horses running. So of course, the horse girls racing is just going to be them running. But the first time I saw it, I was just floored at the fact that they're just fucking running.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're running for real.
You just see human
running their asses off.
Can I say though, like just watching that actually made me want to run too. Like I've been playing the game every single day since release day, and I'll admit this, but it makes running look so cool that I want to go out. I'll go out and run. I want to be like them. It looks rad.
Persona Awakening.
How?
Yeah, I could be casting Zeodyne out on the nearest trail. What am I doing inside?
I've been watching Jujutsu Kaisen during my morning like exercise, which is just getting on an elliptical and doing cardio for 20 minutes.
That's the way to do it.
And actually, now that you think about it, maybe that'll be the next anime I watch. Just like watch them run while I run.
It's a good idea. Build up yourself to be like, I want to be just like them. I'll be.
Yeah.
Man, that is the strat though. Like, if you want to get into like doing some cardio or whatever, pick a show or like YouTube content or something that you like.
Yeah.
And don't watch it unless you're on the elliptical.
Yeah.
You will watch it.
Yeah.
On the elliptical.
Yeah.
It's called like positive reward pairing or something. I heard about it on an NPR podcast about losing weight, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna do this. And I did that, and then I started going to the gym. I was like, fuck it, I really want to watch this YouTube show, so get my ass up and go to the gym.
Yeah, I lost a lot of weight that way in 2019 because I would go to the gym and just watch I watch Amazing World of Gumball and Mighty Magiswords, which cartoons on Cartoon Network. They're really good.
Yeah, man, that's the strat.
I can't say I've watched either, but man, kids got it pretty good nowadays. They have some high quality animation now. Like, I have a soft spot for, Rugrats and SpongeBob and Real Monsters, all those, all the 90s shows I have a soft spot for. But I feel like the quality of cartoon animation now for kids today is so much higher and more direct for valid lessons that can be learned. And, I feel like kids got it darn good. They don't have to wait to get through I don't know, some sloggy shows. Like I'm trying to think of some like Nickelodeon ones I would just skip. I would turn off the TV if they came on. I want to say there was one called
they all fucking owned.
No, there was definitely one. Who's that like redhead girl, Ginger?
As Told by Ginger.
As Told by Ginger.
Okay. I watched that show.
No,
I actually never saw it.
I maybe appreciate it.
I watched it a little bit. It was if it was on and I knew something good was going to come on after it, yeah, it stayed on. But it's like that happened to me with like Toonami too. I'm like, okay, fine, I'll watch Hamtaro, and then like after a little bit of that, I was like, fuck, is Hamtaro on yet?
Yes. Yeah.
I've actually been watching a lot of cartoons since started exercising, and it's just something that I can put my eyeballs on when I'm doing like a cardio. And I feel like when you go on like Twitter and people say Cartoon Network sucks now, I think they just zoom in on something they think looks bad and they don't talk about anything else. Because a lot of these shows I've been watching, I'm like, this is really, really good. Like I said, Gumball is really good. Mighty Magiswords is really funny. I underestimated how much it would make me laugh. There's this one Ninja Turtles show, and I've never really been into Ninja Turtles. It's called Rise of the Ninja Turtles. And it's some of the best fight scenes I have ever seen in a Western cartoon. Not exaggerating. Like, wow. I can link you some clips afterward. It looks like something... It's on the level, and this is no BS. It's on the level of the Broly Dragon Ball movie.
Oh, shit.
And, like, it's crazy. And so, just like I saw today, where people are just whining about new cartoons, but they just kind of zoom in on a show where they don't like the art style, they don't watch the show, and they decide the whole Cartoon Network channel is trash now. But, like, if you just...
I don't see it.
If you don't live in that negative space, you can see stuff that you like.
There you go. That's something, don't fall into that trap of going into a negative space. I think it was brought up either on the last podcast or the podcast before the last podcast, but it's cool to like things.
Yeah.
People, you can like things. It's okay. Not everything has to be perfect. You can enjoy things that are a 7 out of 10 and say that was darn good. That's okay to admit that.
The pandemic has
on the
killed
other side of that coin. What the pandemic kill?
The pandemic has killed my desire to hate on things, just straight up.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think what I was trying to get at is like, it doesn't, to me, there are some people who take that to mean like, okay, well, if you have like any sort of valid criticism for something, you're a hater. And it's like, well, no, sometimes you can like something so much that you just want it to be like as good as possible. And I think that should be like, accounted for as well. But the people who are like, I found one little thing I don't like about this, so therefore the whole thing is garbage. It's like, get out of here. Come on. We're done with that. We don't have enough time to waste on that shit.
Yeah.
We're trying to be out here enjoying the things we like.
I'm a working boy. I can't spend time being negative. I have to get what I can get. I don't have the choice or the luxury to be picky about the content I get anymore. I just have to enjoy what I get.
We're all out here.
If somebody's really has the luxury of all that time to be that negative and nitpicky, really good for you, I guess, that you have that much free time. Go outside. There's some better ways to spend some of that extra time you might have.
Absolutely.
Meanwhile, I think we're gonna get like roasted in a YouTube video from like the Quartering or something, being like, these virtue signalers like CalArt style cartoons.
Oh god, that's like a nightmare for me.
Someone's like, a Debatesona is gonna like take apart teammates.
The epic robot debater.
Why am I so excited about this?
Takes down Yase.
This is fine. Yes, I dare you. 1v1 me in a Persona OC debate battle. Bring it on. I'll bring mine.
Yo,
let's go.
They should do like VTuber debates. Now that we got VTubers popping off, like debate team is all digital because pandemic. So might as well get like a VTuber in there or two. Have them. I don't know what they would debate. I guess like best horse girl.
I don't know, the death penalty.
The death penalty for horse girls. Is it ethical to turn your low performing medium rarity horse girl into glue?
If you're horse woman, okay.
Yo, horse women be shopping.
Stop using this language. No, I'm just kidding. If your horse commits murder, should she be put to death? I'm sorry.
Now we're really going to be thrown into some kind of YouTube video. This is heading into a direction that we should shift. Toops, so what have you been up to? Let's shift to Toops time.
Speaking of being in YouTube videos, I watched the Snyder Cut.
Oh.
This is someone coming from, just gonna be honest, I liked Man of Steel. I didn't like Batman vs. Superman as much. And then I watched Justice League, and when I was watching Snyder Cut, I just realized that I don't remember anything from Justice League. Like, a lot of this, I was still like, was this in the original or not? And then I had to look up the scenes. But I watched the Snyder Cut, and the Snyder Cut, it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
All right.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
It's so
pretty good.
When you see that 4-hour length, and I've been experiencing this when I watch The Irishman on Netflix, just remember, you don't have to sit down and watch a 4-hour movie in one sitting. You just don't. So a 4-hour thing on a streaming platform is always going to be different than a 4-hour thing in a theater, because you have to go and watch the whole thing and take bathroom breaks and try to refill your popcorn and be annoyed by the guy behind you kicking your seat for 4 hours. But when you're at home, you can just go to bed, wake up the next day. I started watching it on my lunch break, and then I watched more of it after work, and then I did the same thing the next day, and I was done. So,
nice.
The other thing is, I feel like Zack Snyder actually kind of took criticism from people had for Batman v Superman and actually took it and actually used that and improved the Justice League in the Snyder Cut.
Damn.
It's not as depressing as Batman v Superman, but it's not like in the Joss Whedon version where they had like these weird jokes that didn't really fit. Cyborg and the Flash have a much bigger role in this movie. So does Aquaman. Now I'm just thinking they didn't really have much to do in the Joss Whedon version. Superman just shows up and saves the day at the end. But in this, it feels more like a comic book where the writers think like everybody has their own unique skills and role, and if one of them wasn't there, the whole thing would fall apart. So Cyborg and the Flash, this is something I didn't expect. They have their whole power set from the comic books. And if you're not a comic book reader, you'll know that Cyborg and the Flash have this thing where if a character is very popular, they can pretty much, their power levels get ridiculous because like 3, 4, 5, 15 different writers want to use them for different things. And so they just add on more stuff. So the Flash starts out in the 60s as he can run fast, and now today he can go between dimensions, he can reverse time, he can walk through walls. Cyborg, he can control the entire digital economy, he can control the nuclear arsenal, and especially with Cyborg, that was in the movie. Like, they straight up introduced when, like, he gets his powers, and they're trying to, like, they're explaining, his father's explaining to him what he can do. He's saying, like, yeah, you can just move money wherever you want. You can launch all the nukes. You can control the internet. And that sounds ridiculous, but just remember, the difference between the Justice League and the Avengers is that the Justice League is extremely overpowered. Just to a ridiculous degree. And it's actually, almost every version of the Justice League that comes up, that usually becomes a plot point. Because, the Avengers, about half of them work for the U.S. government. Nobody in the Justice League works for any government. So, but yeah. So I really liked it.
Yeah, the less government, the better. Absolutely.
Well, it depends. So there's Superman, the guy who can destroy cities by sneezing, and no one voted for him. I didn't vote for Clark Kent to be Superman. I didn't vote for these people to live on a literal satellite in the sky watching down over us. But that doesn't come up in this movie, but it might in the future, because it kind of did in Batman v Superman. But anyway, The Flash is another one where his ridiculous power set actually comes up in this movie and it becomes really important. In a way that, every time I thought of a Flash movie, the kind of stuff they do in this movie is the kind of stuff I thought they should do, but I wasn't sure they would ever actually try. So, it's just, I thought it was really good. As someone who loves comic books, I was really happy on what I got to see on screen. The way that Cyborg hacks stuff, it's instead of every other movie where when you hack stuff, you're either on a laptop or you have a hologram being I'm in the files. Here's this old newspaper. Yeah, I'm in. He actually goes into this weird sort of mind palace, and it kind of shows you what he's seeing. And instead of him being half robot, when he's in that mind palace, it's just him as a human, the last day before he got into an accident and lost half his body. And he kind of narrates what he's seeing. There's a part where he finds an ancient artifact that they need, and you actually see the year where they found the ancient artifact, and soldiers from Nazi Germany are packing it up, and he's walking through the town narrating what's happening. And I've just kind of never seen anybody narrate a hacking scene like that, and I just thought it was really cool. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I like the Snyder Cut. Even if you don't, if you hated the other movies, I would suggest giving this a try. I thought it was really good.
That description of the hacking sequence sounds really cool. It's less like Netrunner and more like astral projection.
That's what it is. And he does this thing where I don't remember this from the comics, but he talks to machines and can kind of feel their emotions. Eureka 7. Oh my god. It took me so long to figure out where I saw that before. But it's Eureka 7. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I thought that was really cool. But yeah, I would definitely suggest that. There's other problems I had with past Zack Snyder movies that this movie actually explains and solves. Older scenes where I thought that didn't make sense, it's never going to make sense, he explains it, and I was surprised that he was able to do that too. Yeah, that's the ending of my Zack Snyder, I guess, attempting to be spoiler free review. Anything else, I'm probably just gonna ruin the ending for you, but it was really good. Superman. Oh, one more thing. Superman does his role exactly as he should, where everybody else has technical intelligence powers, and Superman just shows up and delivers the hands when needed.
Is Superman a himbo?
Yes.
Straight up?
Yes.
Is he portrayed as just a himbo, just kind and strong and stupid as hell?
He's kind of more intense than he usually is, but it's just the villain. The plan to stop the villain wouldn't work if it was just Superman delivering the hands, but he needed to deliver the hands for the whole thing to come together. I can't go into any more without spoiling it, but yeah, it's just really, it shows, because sometimes if you don't do this right, it just feels like everyone's just waiting for Superman to show up and fix everything, but it wasn't like that this time. Everybody had a role, and it fit together really nicely. It's kind of like One Piece, sort of.
Is he still Henry Cavill?
Yes. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Does he have the mustache?
No.
Did they still have to alter that one out?
No,
Snyder Cut should have kept the mustache.
Fixed that. They definitely fixed that. They definitely fixed that.
I remember seeing the pictures. Oh my.
Yeah.
I can't say, like, I know when you brought up, like, the Flash and Cyborg are both in the movie. I can't say I've ever seen a picture of them pre-Snyder Cut, because I'm sure they were just in the movie so little that it happened so quick that nobody even took a picture of them. I can't say I even know what they looked like. Until now the Snyder Cut is out, people have seen some pictures and talk about Flash and Cyborg now being in it and being important, which is great. Those are really fun characters. I think people maybe are a little, I would say, more into variety of DC stuff being in Justice League rather than being another extension of, and again, this is coming from an outsider perspective, but maybe another extension of Batman versus Superman, where maybe the Justice League was too focused originally on just the safe bets of characters that would be a surefire home run. But if DC fans probably want to see more variety than just the usual crowd, I guess.
Just as a comic books fan, I was really happy that they kind of took front and center. And now maybe people who didn't really know about Cyborg realize how cool he is, just how much he can do. Same thing with the Flash. The Flash's powers are ridiculous. The Flash's powers are my favorite kind of powers in comic books, where, like, you can do anything, but there are consequences, and you have to actually figure out how to do it.
Yeah, it's not just like a Deus Ex Machina.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. The whole, like, Flash Dimension thing seems a little iffy.
No, it's cool. Shut up.
Okay. Hey, is the Flash like the CW Flash?
No, it's a different actor.
Oh, okay.
And actually, so since the Flash can go through different dimensions, the Flash from these movies has actually had a cameo in the CW Flash TV show.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I can
They
get
actually
behind
did a
that.
really cool thing where they had the Flash go to all these different dimensions, and they use it to, like, tie up loose ends to a bunch of different TV show and movie franchises. It was.
It's like that image of, like, how Ryu has fought all these characters, and, like, every, like, single guest appearance that Ryu's been in, and now that he's in Fortnite, he's now in the universe of, like, every other video game franchise ever. The Flash is now doing that, where he's just running through every franchise he wants to be a part of.
Yeah.
Let's tie these up.
It was really cool.
Awesome.
It was really cool, and it was the first time the voice actor for Batman the Animated Series portrayed Bruce Wayne in the live action show.
Wow.
He's on the CW Flash.
Ooh,
yeah.
Cool.
Wait, like Kevin Conroy or whatever?
Yes. Yeah.
That's badass.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's my review.
Hell yeah.
Well, again, I think Rhett and I are, like, both pretty out of the loop on DC stuff, but that sounds pretty cool. Like, 4-hour Zack Snyder comic book movie, like, definitely at first glance makes me want to, like, fall asleep. Sounds like a lot. But that sounds pretty sick.
Sounds like it could just be a comfy movie night with somebody that you just want to have a movie night with. You're not setting up, like, you have to sit there and pay attention the full 4 hours. Like, it might just be something comfy and fun to, like, throw some popcorn in, take a break every now and then.
Yeah.
Watch through it. Yeah, it sounds like a fun time.
Yeah.
Hey.
And it doesn't cost $30 extra like all the fucking Disney Plus shit.
Oh, yeah. Oof.
Like, they announced that they're going to do Cruella and Black Widow and some other crap. But it costs $30 to watch it, and you get to watch it one time. So I know I would be watching it.
Oh, you only get to watch it once?
Yeah, you only get to watch it once. You don't get to keep it. It's ridiculous. Fuck Disney for that shit. I mean, fuck Disney for multiple reasons, but, like, that one feels pretty bad. I bet you can't even, like, keep it. You can't, like, pause it halfway through and be like, I'm going to watch it later. It's probably going to be like, oh, pause that shit. Or I'll do it for you. I don't know where that came from. It came from Orlando.
We'll put you into the Disney Vault where you belong.
Oh yeah, is Mario dead yet?
You going? Shit.
He's crumbling to dust as we speak. As he has a week left of that match, guys.
Yeah, it's like some 7 days.
A week to the day.
He's watching the ring video right now.
Oh no! That was my Mario impression.
Good game.
That's his famous line from Mario. Oh no!
You know what was a good game?
Too bad.
Before they take it off, that Mario versus 35.
Yeah, that shit was pretty fun.
That was a lot of fun.
It was all right. I was expecting more fun out of it, if I'm going to be quite honest, because I'm a big time Tetris 99 fan. I was kind of hoping for the same kind of addiction. It was more a novelty to me than it was a video game that I could go back to over and over again. Tetris 99 kind of has some pretty good replayability. Mario 35 felt almost too gimmicky to its faults in a way. If I'm being critically reviewer honest, I'm putting on my reviewer pants now, and they are on, and now I'm taking off the reviewer pants.
The Reviewsona is live.
Yeah, my first Sona OC is live on the cast now. We're doing a review of Mario 35. It's all right. It's very gimmicky though. I feel like it's a party. It's more of a party game, for sure.
I think part of the reason why maybe they didn't, I don't want to say balance it, but like make it more engaging and enjoyable because they knew they were taking that shit down. Why put any effort into it?
Sure. Unfortunately, I don't know how you would have like refined the formula more than they already did. I think it's serviceable. It's fine. It's a wacky idea. I'm glad it exists. It's semi-free if you have Nintendo Switch Online. You just download it. Like, it's a pretty low-cost option to get to try it. So I have no qualms about it existing. It's a shame though that they just are going to take it down on March 31st for really. I don't know if they've really had a reason given other than Mario has to die. They're just killing him.
I think it's probably the end of their fiscal year or something, but that doesn't mean they have to take it down. Same with whatever that fucking Fire Emblem game is.
Oh yeah, the first NES,
the first ever NES
Shadow of the Emblem.
Shadow of the Emblem. That's my favorite Star Wars game for the N64. The fucking train level. Ooh. So speaking of games that, playing as kids, Rhett, you were talking a little bit before we started the pod about that kind of like that game whenever you were a kid that your friend group was like super into and just kind of like, I know you're obsessed with Monster Hunter right now. Monster Hunter is on the mind. You are hunting monsters right now in the brain. But you were also
bouncing around in my brain.
You were also hunting monsters in high school with the homies, and like that was it. That was the game for I don't know how long. How long?
Absolutely, it was at least 2 years. It would be junior and senior year, pretty much. Which was a great stint of time. I know growing up, really the one game before that I would say everybody in my friend group was playing would be Pokemon. The Pokemon craze was pretty good in the elementary school days and middle school days, of course. I didn't really catch the Pokemon bug, but that's only because Pokemon was outlawed in my house. It involved evolution, and that was verbatim. Now, you don't say the E word in the Hopton household. That was against the rules, so I couldn't play Pokemon until much later on. Then I could experience all those games again. But apart from that, moving on to high school years, Monster Hunter, for me at least, was such a formative time because it really like brought a lot of my friend group together more than I ever really thought would get involved into it, which was really, really, I guess, reassuring growing up and having that friend group to connect with. I used to play the Monster Hunter titles on the PSP on the bus to school. I had my hacked PSP that I downloaded my illegal ROMs of Monster Hunter onto, but I would just be playing solo on the bus ride to school and back from school. And it was only solo hunts, and if anybody has ever played an older Monster Hunter game, those are just absolutely nightmarish, terrible, just hard as nails games to get into, especially when you're playing solo. So around the time the Wii came out, the big title during that time was Monster Hunter Tri. And and I was really excited to get off the PSP and onto a console and play that. And I convinced a couple of my friends to buy it as well. I was like, hey, this big Wii game's coming out. Everybody has a Wii. Everybody got bored of Animal Crossing New Town Folk. City Folk. That's the one. I got to it. Everybody's getting bored of that, so everybody hopped on Monster Hunter Tri. And then I evolved into the 3DS games where there was Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate, I believe is the name. And then there was 4 Ultimate later on. But that involves so many good memories involved with just talking to my friends about Monster Hunter, going to my friend's house to play Monster Hunter. I think we brought up The Dark Knight earlier. I believe we went to a midnight screening of The Dark Knight, but the only thing I remember of that night was it was like me and 5 or 6 of my friends, and all we did, we met it up at a friend's house like at 9 o'clock before the movie. We had to go to the movie theater, and all we did was just play Monster Hunter the whole time leading up to the movie. We got to the theater, played Monster Hunter, waiting in line to get into the movie, played Monster Hunter during the commercials at the beginning, and then went back after the movie. The movie was fine, but then we went back home and it was like 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, and then we just stayed up all night playing more Monster Hunter. It was so like that's the biggest like takeaway for that night for me. It was just like having that time to connect with my friends and just like exist in a social space where everybody's like talking about the same thing and excited about the same thing. Which was great, and I feel like that's really led into now my adult life, that when people get excited about Monster Hunter, I in return am like, oh, that's so good. Like it brings me back to a place of like I can connect with you in like such a cool way, and like we could talk about this. So I guess I want to toss this up to both of you. I don't know if either of you play Monster Hunter, but what would be that game for either of you? Do you have a game where during a period in your life that was all that like absorbed your life and that your friends group were infected and just like that carried with you now through the years, I guess?
Yeah, I got a game. So my friend group I used to live in the Pittsburgh area before I moved to Florida when I was like 15. And that friend group that, I grew up with, we went to a couple like family fun center kind of places. Mom, can you take us to the arcade kind of thing? And we played a lot of Dance Dance Revolution there.
Yeah.
Tons and tons of DDR. And so we all ended up getting the home console, like shitty nasty pads that are like vinyl and like sensors. Them shits are bad. And we eventually went online to figure out how to like, nail them to like a piece of plywood and get some carpet runner to go over it. I know my DDR heads know what I'm talking about with that mod. Or like eventually got like the Red Octane pads with the little like zip in foam inserts.
Oh, you had one?
Yeah, I had
lucky.
one of those.
Oh,
them shits were good. And we had the little USB to like printer port fucking like converters for the computer so we could play Statmania. And now if we have a whole rhythm game channel over at the Yase Discord, yase.world, to hit up the Discord, check it out. We have a whole rhythm game channel, and anytime someone brings up DDR, I'm just like back there. I'm 14 again. I'm playing with my friends on a DDR Extreme Cab, and the music takes me back. The gameplay takes me back. I have a pad now. I've got a Cobalt Flux, which is a pretty nice pad. Now they got like these.
Oh, hell yeah.
They got these Step Maniacs pads that are like $1,200 for a stage or something. That's a lot of money for me. That's like a whole stimmy. And I ain't about to do that. that's quite I have some friends who definitely like put some stimmies towards the rhythm game peripherals. Rob, Mark, Lamo, love y'all. I got this for like a song. I think I traded some games to my friend Drew for it. And when I play it, I'm just like 14 again. And, just busting my ass trying to pass Rhythm and Police and Exotic Ethnic and Sakura and all these titles. They have so many harder songs now, and I'm like, fuck that. I don't care. I'm just trying to...
Oh my God, right?
I'm just trying to pass the Legend of Max.
Yeah, like that was impressive back in the day, but now there's like Legend of Max is kind of like baby stuff compared to like most of the 13s or 14s on just regular songs. Like they'll have a bunch of Touhou songs.
Yeah,
like, they're just harder than like most of the stuff that I've played. It's crazy. And Yeah, I don't. I have a big affinity for the older DDR stuff too. That's what I grew up with. If I hadn't got so obsessed with Monster Hunter, DDR is the next second best thing. I didn't really have a big friend group that got as invested as I did, but there was a big extent of time I was just on Flash Revolution on their forums,
FFR, hell yeah,
playing Steph Mania and playing FFR, and eventually Third Style came out and played that. That was a big part of my life too, but I never had the friend group to associate with the Monster Hunter, kind of absorb that. But I love that. Yeah, DDR is a great community. It still is. There's still, if anybody was going to get into DDR, those communities are still out there, which is fantastic. And there's nothing better than having that community to connect with for something that you love.
Mine would be Marvel vs. Capcom 3. It's kind of later in life, but for me, it's because it came out right when I moved to a new place and I had no friends. And actually, the FGC was a really great way for me to start a basis for meeting new people. And I've actually gotten jobs through Marvel vs. Capcom.
What? I want to hear about that.
It's sort of like a weird new. I got what? Let's see. So I think I've gotten one job and one job interview where they actually flew me out somewhere.
What?
It's just because of the different people I meet, and I guess this is like the golf club of the future, where I was able to network with people through the same games we played around the country. But yeah, I always loved fighting games since I was a teenager. Someone just told me to buy CVS2 in high school, and then I spent all that afternoon trying to figure out how to do a quarter circle forward punch. The manual just said quarter circle forward, and then they had the little fist thing, and I didn't know that meant that you did the quarter circle forward and then you punched. I thought it meant you did it at the same time, and I couldn't figure out why Ryu wasn't doing the fireball. And then also, I just did not know what they meant by charge for like Guile.
Oh, right.
For like Guile and Terry's rising tackle. It said charge down then press up. It did not say hold down and press up. It didn't say hold down, wait a second, then press up. It just said charge, and I had no idea what that meant. So for a long time, I just didn't know what a charge motion was. Because I guess this is before I discovered GameFAQs. This is like that time before you could look up any kind of video on how to play fighting games, and you just had to figure it out for yourself. But yeah,
that sounds pretty fair.
Yeah, smash cut to me moving to a new town, not knowing anybody, and just going on forums or Facebook groups or like local fighting games. Right when Marvel 3 came out.
You go on SRK?
Yeah. No, it was actually BlazBlue.
What?
One guy, he said his username was the Alpha Male, and he had like a lion head for his avatar.
What?
I guess nowadays maybe he goes by the Sigma Male. But but he said, I'm looking for other BlazBlue players, and I'm going to be the best Hazama in the Southeast United States. So I went there, and I met another guy, and the other guy that actually went to this dude's house, he was actually really good, one of the best players I've ever met, Potent Shell. And
I'm about to ask.
We both played each other, and this guy didn't even play us. He just watched us. And then when we were leaving, he said he didn't really know how he felt about BlazBlue anymore, because I guess he didn't like what he saw. I guess he thought we were
power move.
No,
what?
Like not even power move. Just been like this game is a lot more cheap than I thought it was.
Have you ever played a game so good that somebody else quits the game over it?
Yeah. And he actually showed me up. He actually introduced me to like the other people that actually played a lot of fighting games. And since then, I think everybody I know in the place I live now, I know through the FGC, either they play fighting games a lot or they know someone who knows someone who plays fighting games. So yeah. Yeah,
that's all my friend group too. Yeah, absolutely. Like that's in my adult life now that I've moved on from like high school and college. Fighting games has been the only friend group that I can really like connect with and point to people and say like, oh, I know somebody in California. Oh, I know somebody in New York. Oh, I know somebody in Florida. Like, it's all fighting games. I'm not going out and socializing with my coworkers.
Fuck that.
God, no.
Good Lord,
no way. Fighting games are such a good outlet for that. Yes, especially around like the Marvel 3 era. The energy around that release was palpable. I don't know if there's been as exciting a release for both fighting game players and fighting game enthusiasts. I think people that just played a fighting game growing up when they saw Marvel 3 coming out, I feel like that's when they're like, oh my god, like I could get on board with this.
Just like
Street Fighter 4, I guess, had the same effect where it really brought on a lot of people back on board.
The difference between Street Fighter 4 and Marvel 3 is that when Street Fighter 4 came out, a bunch of people are like, oh my god, finally a new Street Fighter after a bazillion years. What do we do? How do we organize this? Like, who's going to be the tournament organizer? Who's like, how do we play? There's that video of that Sagat player beating everyone by just by just doing Tiger Uppercut over and over.
That came up on Twitter.
Yeah, that's like from like Arcade Infinity or some shit.
Yeah, because back then...
those streams used to be lit. That was like fucking OD shit.
Yeah. That's actually...
Get on Justin TV and watch some Arcade Infinity, watch Gootex.
That's actually a type of player you run into a lot who just learned... He's like they're a newer player, but they've only been watching very good players play, and they think that that's what everybody has to play like. So when they come out with someone who's doing something suboptimal, they're like, "Well, he's not gonna Tiger Uppercut again." Okay, he did it again, but he's not gonna Tiger Uppercut again. And when they block a Tiger Uppercut, they don't have an optimal punish for some reason because I guess they thought, "Well, no one's gonna." No one's gonna spam five times.
They're just taking it back, like
that's not what good players do. So I don't have to learn how to beat that. But yeah, when Marvel 3 came out, like a lot of that, I guess, scaffolding is what I would call it. That was already there. So a lot of people knew. A lot of people knew how to like. All right, we're gonna have a tournament for this. We're gonna crack this game open starting day one. Just a lot of that stuff. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun to see the different gimmicks come and immediately go.
Yes, that was exciting though. Every single tournament that happened, there was a new gimmick you got to look forward to. Every single time you were on the edge of your seat, like, okay, what kind of bullshit has somebody cooked up this time? I'm so excited. And like, yeah, you're right. Like the architecture and the structure of the fighting game community was built from Street Fighter 4, and now like every event was streamed with Marvel 3. Every single event had Marvel 3 as a streamed event or casuals or whatever it may be. There's already so much content to then get absorbed into that. So
and it was all hype as hell.
So exciting. And it was all hype as hell. Absolutely.
Yeah, I to expound on that, I moved to Tallahassee with a friend group from high school that was all into like music and like being like cool indie arts people. And then I was like, I want to play fighting games. And I went on SRK and I met like my friends now through SRK, like the local thread, and kind of like drifted apart from them. No hard feelings, guys. But my fighting game friends are like my go-tos, my ride or dies right now. And, like we group chat all the time. And that game was huge for us, Marvel 3. And it was great to see certain people just like show up with the new team, and I'm like, okay, what gimmick am I going to get fucked up by today? Or like, what is going on with this one? And like, dude would show up, and I'm like, okay, got She-Hulk, that's cool. And then all of a sudden, he's doing the fucking DHC glitch with She-Hulk. Yeah, and I'm like, I didn't know that She-Hulk could fucking do the DHC glitch. I learned a lot every time I played that game.
That's actually, I guess, but yeah, my game for that would be Marvel 3. But I could gush about Marvel 3's early days for a long time. One of the things is it was the second game besides Street Fighter 4 that some OGs talk about this phenomenon, and some OGs just kind of don't recognize it. It's where when something gets discovered in Marvel 3 and any fighting game we play now, it is all over the planet. And I guess anyone who's playing Marvel 3 in a space station, the minute it gets discovered, save that shit for Nationals does not exist anymore. No one really does it. When's the last time you saw a game-breaking glitch on Evo stage? No,
not since Marvel 2011. Yeah.
No one does that anymore.
No, saving it for Nationals does not exist. You hit every console has its own tweet button built into it. You're gonna tweet that shit right away. Check out what I found.
People would rather just have the likes, and it's probably one, people would rather have likes than try to get a tournament win. But two, a lot of people, if you find a glitch, let's just say someone else won't find it.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, people know how to get into these games and break them open.
What makes you special?
If you don't, if you don't share it, somebody else will.
Yeah. And Visant said this, and I think about this whenever OGs say it's easy, fighting games are easier to win now, or fighting games are harder to win now. He said the main difference is that not the skill ceiling, but the skill floor is way higher than it used to be.
Yes.
And I noticed this a lot of times where I'm playing Skullgirls. I'll more often come by someone who has really good combos but just falls apart neutral and falls apart to my mix-ups than the other way. I actually found someone who had really good neutral and really good defense against my mix-ups, and then when he hit me with a combo, it wasn't that good. That's actually pretty rare. Mm-hmm. Those things where you can learn from a video, everybody who wants to compete in a tournament can do it now. And what Visant used to say, there are people who would play fighting games, they never saw any kind of competitive play, they never did any kind of research, and most of the time you would go to a tournament and just wipe the floor with everybody, because no one knew what they were doing. Now, everybody is just a little bit competent. Everybody who, if they can hit you, they can make it hurt now.
I feel that a lot with Street Fighter V. Yeah. When I compete, if I don't recognize a name in a bracket, it doesn't mean anything to me, because I know the skill floor is so even for a game like that, especially when you're playing online and ranked. The skill gaps from silver rank to diamond ranked are all kind of almost the same. You run into kind of the same situations from the same kind of players, maybe some smaller slip ups in silver and gold, but the majority of those players are all kind of on the same level. It's just who put in more time, who put in more time into the ranked mode to get more ranked points. But yeah, you really have to fight tooth and nail for every win in most tournaments now.
People got a game plan.
I would say, yeah.
People got a game plan. It's easy to teach people the game plan now.
Yeah. The only thing a lot of people are missing are just the stuff you can't do in training mode. But yeah, just so often nowadays I'll just be out neutraling them, out mixing them up, and then when they hit me with the most optimal guile combo, and and I'll be damn, they got hands.
But then you get knocked down,
Superman
and it's a basic mix-up.
Which I don't know, as fighting game professionals, let's call us here. Fighting professionals, how do we push past that? Do we just have to start working harder to push our skill ceiling ourselves higher to compete with where the floor level is at, I guess? Because now we have to work really hard, and I hate that. I have to put so much more time to feel like I'm good at the games. Because I feel the floor, I'm always existing right where the floor is, I guess. I always feel like I'm right at that level where I can't quite push past that plateau of knowing that everybody around me is a killer, I guess. Everybody around me is pretty all right at the game. And at any moment, if I slip up once or twice, it's going to be it. I guess as professionals, is the answer to just play more, or should we be playing smarter?
I think it's and this is kind of going to go back to the whole discussion on rollback netcode and everything. I think part of it is just playing online and getting used to seeing all sorts of different types of play and getting used to different game plans and how people react. So you don't ever think that everyone is optimal. You don't ever think you never give someone the benefit of the doubt. You never just like, okay, this Sagat player is only going to do, optimal shit, and then you eat your 7th Tiger Uppercut in a row.
Well, that's
because if you saw that online and you'd be like, I'm the scrub stomp this bitch.
Yeah. Part of the fighting game like learning experience is just knowing what I've identified as a skill that I've picked up that you can't learn in training mode, is that your ability to what is it? It's Deep Blue, the chess machine, Deep Blue. Mm-hmm. So Deep Blue, the main way that its algorithm works, to my understanding, is that it gets into a situation and then it looks at the past moves and it looks at its database of moves chess games it's recorded and says, in this situation, based on the past moves I've seen, if I do this move more times out of not, I'll win. So one of the things that I've learned is, if I'm fighting a Sagat who's going to Tiger Uppercut every time, how fast can I go through my database of past Street Fighter games and realize this is a Sagat who's going to
You go into your Cyborg Mind Palace.
Cyborg Mind Palace.
And you're talking about... you're going through how he learned how to Tiger Uppercut.
Yeah.
And narrating it, it's like, okay.
My Cyborg Mind Palace and be like, all right, so he's Tiger Uppercut twice now. Is he going to do it a third time, or is he one of those players who learns after Tiger Uppercut 2? Because that's a risk, too. Because actually, I remember one of the last games I played in the Guilty Gear Strive beta was a Soul who Tiger Uppercut a lot, and then the last round, last bit of health, he got up, and then just ran and command grabbed me.
That's so scary,
So that's like, yeah.
I hate that.
That's not blocking. But since I was like, all right, he's going to Tiger Uppercut again, I got this in the bag. He grabbed me by my shirt, slammed me down. I saw that big fat slash.
Damn, you got played.
And then
that's a big brain shit.
Yeah, I got big brain played, and then the damn thing said beta over. All right, hold that until June.
Daisuke personally came to your house, unplugged, and said, "Sorry, man, it's over."
Yeah, I guess that's a big thing, is just getting used to all sorts of players. Where maybe in the past, like these old Gs, they maybe not have had to get as much experience with all these skill levels of players, because really, what's the reason to? They're just going to be going right to the top players, and they're just the top player strategy.
Yeah.
So we're just going to go into the mind palace of the top player. Yeah. Now you'd have to both study that play and mid-level play and low-level play, and keep and retain that, and then identify it on the spot which one are you going to be going into. Which is tough. It's tough being a fighting game player nowadays.
That's harder.
Damn.
I've said this, I think, to other people, is like they'll say like, I hate fighting like these scrubby players that don't play right, and I tell them, no, you got to learn. A good player will teach you what their character can do, but a bad player will teach you what their character can't do, and you got to know both. You got to know both, because there are some people who will play at the top level, and part of their game is that they'll do something suboptimal. There's who's the stretchy guy in Guilty Gear?
Axel.
No, the one with stretchy arms.
Stretchy what? Stretchy arms. Oh, Raven.
Yeah, there's a Raven player that I used to play a lot.
Master of Yoga, Raven.
And he would wake up super a lot, like more than other people, and I would say one time I was playing him in person, I said, I knew you were going to do that after I got hit, and he said, that's what they always say. But it hits. So
that's what they always say.
So, yeah, if I just play people who play optimal or play the most logical way every time, that's going to make me lose to players like him. Mm-hmm. Straight up. Yeah,
that makes complete sense. Yeah, everybody should just have to play more. I don't know if that's really even something you can go into training mode with.
You gotta play the game.
It's just impossible to react to every.
Yeah.
You gotta play the game by that point. Yeah, there's you training mode will take you so far, but until you get the human experience.
Yeah. I've been trying to learn Skullgirls lately, and I've spent like 12 hours in training mode, and I played 0 matches, and I know that's like the wrong thing to do. I know it'd be better to just hit a quick match and just like get my ass handed to me for a little bit and go back to training mode and like figure out how to run a mix-up or like how to play some neutral or just look at my replays. But instead I'm like, I really want to do this fucking peacock combo again.
It kind of goes into, I don't know if we're making this like the Toops fighting game growth theory podcast.
Really? Yes. I'm learning. This is for Rhett right now. I'm the viewer or the listener. Give it to me.
The going knowledge for a long time when I was coming up playing fighting games. I'm still coming up. I haven't won Evo or anything. I've just been playing for a long time, so that doesn't make me a top player, but I feel like I know I've seen what makes players grow and what makes them not grow. So getting better at a fighting game is kind of like exercise. And someone once told me something that stuck with me the whole time I've been exercising and been playing fighting games. The best, most effective exercise is the one that you're going to do. You can do the Marvel Studios get extremely ridiculously cut in 3 months exercise without any kind of trainer, because if you just eat like tofu and water and broccoli 3 meals a day and like do like 16 hours of exercise starting at 4 a.m. You could do that, but you're not going to do it because you got other stuff to do. You're going to feel terrible. And
you don't have human growth.
It's going to make you feel bad. But if I say just start with, I don't know, do like 10 reps of push-ups, like 10 push-ups and run for like 10 minutes and then build from that, you're going to do that. And I feel like how that relates to fighting games is that the common knowledge coming up was you have to get bodied to get better. Like if you're not taking a 10-0 loss, you're not growing. But what I found personally and what I've seen from other people is that if you can find someone who's at your level, maybe a little bit better, that's when I see the most growth. Because, one, just straight up, we're playing video games here. Sometimes people forget it's a game. You're here to have fun after your 8-hour workday or your 7 hours of school and 3 hours of homework. You're here to have fun. And the other thing is, when you change your strategy against someone who's just a little bit better or just a little bit worse than you, you'll see a difference. If I start playing Mortal Kombat and I've never played it before, and I'm playing Sonic Fox, and I'm like, I don't know, blocking his strings wrong, and then I change up how I'm blocking his strings, he's just gonna immediately see that I'm doing that, and then go to the level 2 mix-up, and I won't even know. I did the right thing, but I won't see it. But if Jarv picks up Mortal Kombat now, and we've both never played it, I don't know if you ever played it, Jarv. And the same thing where like you're hitting me with, I don't know, the overhead bombs, I think, Sector or whatever he has. I think he has that. And I start blocking the bombs, and you don't have a level 2, I'll be like, that spark where like, all right, I just learned something, and I'm doing the right thing now. You're gonna get that, and you're gonna want to keep playing, and you're gonna see how the game works better than as someone who just knows the entire game and just knows how to F you up immediately. I always think of one time, like, Blitz Shield in Guilty Gear. Mm-hmm. This kind of goes back to the Cyborg Mind Palace. I was hitting somebody with Chip's mix-ups for like 9 games straight, and for some reason, in the middle of the 10th game, I thought, he's gonna blitz right here. And I baited the blitz, and I actually felt guilty because I knew like he's not gonna try it again because he's gonna think he knew somehow. He's gonna think I knew somehow, and just because I was just a lot better at him at Guilty Gear, like he doesn't know that blitz is actually a really useful tool against Chip. It's just that I got really lucky, or I just really somehow knew that players like this are going to blitz here. And since I called him at that one time, now, like, again, back in the Mind Palace, I knew if I call him out like that, he's just not going to try it again.
Smart, right? Like, yeah, those little adjustments, against a better player aren't going to matter in the long run because you already kind of adjusted ahead of time before they made their adjustment. Nothing feels better than playing games against somebody at your skill level. Yeah. Nothing feels better. I could play against somebody at my skill level for 7 hours until my hands turn red and raw and not even realize it and go, wow, where'd the time go? Because it's just so much fun. If you learn so much, you walk away feeling gratified and happy. There's no sense in playing against somebody at your, not your own level. For those that are picking up Guilty Gear Strive, go to the floor you're assigned. There's no shame in that. If you're you have the option to go right to floor 10 if you want, but floor 6 might be your your space where you're going to learn the most. Make your time valuable. Mm-hmm. You owe that to yourself. If you're getting walloped and not having fun at a certain level, maybe try something else or try a different friend group or. I think that's really the most valuable time, absolutely, is somebody right at the level you're at.
I agree wholeheartedly. I want to put a pin in this. I think we should come back to this in a couple episodes, get some more people on and kind of come back to this type of topic. I kind of like the deeper dives into like greater FGC mind theory. I think that's pretty fun. Yeah. And we've had some funny, casual episodes, but it might be nice to have some, more real talk about the thing that kind of brought us all together in the first place. Fighting games.
Yeah. I know Morgan has a couple pieces on that. Yeah. I'd love to hear her come on. This is a call-out post to Morgan. I know you're editing this, you.
We hear you. Or you hear us.
Yes, we hear you. I know she has a lot to say on that kind of topic.
We see you. We appreciate you. And actually, I want to shout those out. If you're listening to this right now, go to Ricky Hirsch VT. That is RICKI-HIRSCH-VT.medium.com. Morgan's really cool friend, Ricky Hirsch, has a couple really good articles on like mid-level, intermediate, you know how to hit quarter circle forward and punch at the same time, or even you hit punch after quarter circle forward. So you're kind of at that intermediate spot. Some articles maybe about how to get better and how to be nice to yourself. So yeah,
that's important. Yes.
Yeah. Let's leave it there.
It's fantastic.
Let's leave it there. Be nice to yourself in all of this. If you're trying to learn, trying to get better, trying to do that peacock combo, be nice to yourself.
Yeah.
It's free to be nice to yourself. All right, folks. Rhett, where can people find you online?
You can find me online on Twitter at Master Hooligans. That's WHO Ligans. I'm also on Twitch at Master Hooligans and on YouTube at Rhett's Play.
I love that name, by the way, Rhett's Play.
Every time. It's great. You can watch my 4 videos that I've uploaded a year and a half ago. Go watch them.
Toops, can you be found on the internet?
Absolutely not. Leave me alone. I'm in the dark dimension, and I come out once a week to record this podcast, and then I return to the abyss in which I came.
Well, you can find me online. I'm on Twitter at JarvDog, DAWG. You can find the team over at YASEworld. You can go to yase.world. We got a store. We got all our links, all our socials. We got a Twitch channel, twitch.tv/YASEworld. And you can, of course, use the Yase.world link to hit up the Discord and come join us. So we got that rhythm game channel, I guess. We've got a bunch of people that are going to be playing Monster Hunter. By the time this comes out, Monster Hunter will be out. So if you want people to hunt mons with, hit your boy Red up.
Yeah, come on. Yeah, let's play.
Hunt monsters less than monsters hunt you. Alrighty, y'all. This has been Team Yase signing off. Take it easy.
Peace.